Hi guys, Matt from Total MTG here, and today is Deck Tech Tuesday, and today, as promised, it's a double Deck Tech. So you get two Deck Techs for the price of one. Anyway, it's all based around the card that won the Let's Build a Deck Viewer's Choice. The viewers voted for Demon of the Dark Schemes. That was the most popular card. So I've built two little decks around this. They're different. I'd say they're different. The first one is Golgari, green-black, and the second one will be Mardu. Both have slightly different strategies. I didn't want to go for the Metalwork Colossus kind of route, because that seems, you know, everyone's doing that with this. So I tried to be different and not use Metalwork Colossus with it. And anyway, let's see how we go. So let's have a look at the creatures in this first Golgari deck. Obviously, Demon of the Dark Schemes. It has based around this. We're only going to run two of these rows. The second deck has three. This one has two, because we have, you know, a chance to recur this in this deck. So we only need two of these. As you should know, it's a 5/5 demon. When it enters the battlefield, all creatures get -2. All other creatures get -2/2 to end turn. When another creature dies, you get an energy counter. 2 and a black, pay 4 energy, put target card from a graveyard, so that's ours or our opponent, under the battlefield, under our control, tapped. So, what we're looking to do here, this deck is based around, like, maybe getting our opponents to discard, disrupting hands, and then hopefully whacking them down with some very big creatures, building up energy counters along the way. And we do have Ever After in this deck, but, you know, it's to get back some nice creatures, hopefully. Big creatures, and that's the way we're going with this one. So, we got two of them. We have a Plated Crusher. This card, 7/6 Trample Hexproof. It's an absolute beater. Now, if this could be one of the cards that we get in with Ever After, you know, it's going to be hard to deal with because of the hexproof, and it's just, you know, it's huge. 7/6 with trample. Going to be very hard to deal with, so we're going to have one of them. Green Warden of Murasa. 5/4, not too big in the body. 4 and 2 green. We're going to run a couple of these. I like the abilities on this. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target card from the graveyard to your hand. So maybe we need, you know, maybe need to get the demon back, or any of the other creatures that obviously have some good effects when they come in as well. Not the Plated Crusher, but the other ones I'm going to show you in a second. And when it dies, you may exile it and return another card from your graveyard to your hand. So, you know, we can do lots of nice recurgent with Green Warden Murasa. So, you know, if we get it in with Ever After, it's going to be a very good card. So we're going to run a couple of them. Last two creatures that we're going to run is some Gearhulks, because Gearhulks are amazing. I love these Gearhulks from the new set Kaladesh. Noxious Gearhulk, 4 and 2 black, 5/4, has menace. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy another target creature. If a creature is destroyed this way, you gain life equal to its toughness. So we're going to run a couple of them. And two of the green Vedurus Gearhulk, 3 and 2 green, 4/4. When it enters, you can distribute 4/1/1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. So we're going to run a couple of these. What's good about all these creatures as well with this deck is that the Demon Dark Scheme, it's not going to kill any of our creatures if we have any on the battlefield already. Because the -2/2 will shrink them down, so our opponent could maybe harness like them or something like that. You know, if the toughness is less. But they're not actually going to die from this, and hopefully maybe some of our opponents will. So that is the creatures. So we're going to go now on to, we're going to get some energy counters. We need energy counters to, you know, make our Demon of Dark Schemes work. Woodweaver's Puzzle only costs 2. When it enters, we gain 3 life, which is all important, because we're not going to have, you know, we haven't got early creature play. So it's good. Life is important, and it gets us energy counters as well. 3 energy counters. We can sack it to get another 3 life and another 3 energy counters. So we're going to run a full play set of them, 4 of them. Attune with Ether. Search your library for a basic land card, so it helps us get some land, thin the deck, and we get 2 energy counters with it as well. So we're going to run a full play set of them, getting the energy, all important. Live Fast, this is our card draw. You draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life, but, you know, hopefully we will be gaining. We've got life gain with Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, which obviously that we can recur maybe if we need to. This also gets us energy counters as well, so we're going to run 3 of them. Grapple with the past. This is like I'm talking about recurrence. You put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then you may return a creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. So we've got a slight card that, you know, is very good with Delirium that you're going to see in a sec. Grapple with the past can help, you know, it feeds an ever and after, maybe. It gets us back a creature that we might need, you know, Plated Crusher. You don't know what we might need, you know, a Voracious Hulk, anything like that. But we've got 3 of these in there. And that's just, you know, it's going to basically just help us with our deck. Making I'm getting them in the right order here. Right. So, Harsh Scrutiny. Target opponent reveals his hand, you get to choose a creature card. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about. We're going for a bit of a discard theme in this one. We get to scry with this as well, so it helps us, you know, look at our deck. You reveal your hand. They do reveal their hand. You get to creature cards. So we're feeding the demon. You know, as long as they've got creatures in their hand, it's a creature deck, which there is so many in this meta world where I'm playing at the moment. Everyone's playing loads of creatures. You know, when another creature dies as well, you get an energy counter, like I said, with the demon. But we want to feed their graveyard a bit so we can maybe put some of our opponent's creatures in, because we haven't got that many creatures. We've got ways to build up the energy. Use Harsh Scrutiny to put them in there and help us along the way. Collective Brutality helps us discard. Maybe we want to discard a creature, put it in there. We've got Ever After in this late game. We've got all the creatures in the hand that we don't want. So we can discard for the Escalate with Collective Brutality. We can also look at our opponent's hand, get rid of those annoying instants and sorceries they might have. -2/2 to a creature, and we've also got a bit of life gain there. Target opponent loses 2 life, and we gain 2 life. So we're going to run 3 Collective Brutalities. The card that I was talking about that has Delirium is Whispers of Emrakul. This is a bit random, like it says. Target opponent discards a random card. But if it's Delirium, and we've got a good chance of getting Delirium with the way our deck works, it's not a Delirium deck, but you know, this is one card that could make him discard 2 cards. So if we get him to discard 1 at random, yes, they're not going to be able to choose what to discard, but we're just going to get a random. Could be good, could be bad. You know, that's what we trying out with Whispers of Emrakul, and then we might bet 2. So we've got ways with these 3 to deplete hands. You know, they're all low mana cost spells, so hopefully, you know, take their hands away. That's what we want to do. So, the card that I was talking about as well, Ever After. This returns up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each of those are zombies in addition. And then we get to put this on the bottom of our library. So we're going to run 2 of these because we do get to put it back in our deck. Attune the Ether, you know, even a late one of them would get us to shuffle our library. So we would be able to shuffle it in as well, if we need to, obviously. You know, we might have used our attunes, we don't know. But Ever After returns up to 2 target creatures. Put them on the battlefield. You know, we've got good creatures there. We could play Green Warden, get another card back when we put it in. Hulk, Vidacious, put counters, Noxious, kill a creature. You understand what I mean? We've got very good creatures that hopefully can win the game. Very few, but very good ones. So we're going to run a couple of Ever After. And that's what we're going to do. We've got 1 Planeswalker in this deck. It's Ob Nicholas Reignited. Destroy target creature, which is always very handy. Card draw, withdraw a card, use a life, and the -8 is whenever you get an emblem. Whenever a player draws a card, you lose. They lose 2 life. So you know, it's not bad to give your opponent that kind of emblem. It does work very well. I've managed to do it a couple of times. Obviously not with this deck yet, but I do like the emblem of Obnixus if you can get there. But even just the other 2 abilities are really good. Plus in to draw cards, minus in then to destroy target creatures. That's all pretty sweet. So, we'll have a quick look at the land base now for this deck. As I just move my little iPad up. So, we're going to run, I'm going to leave proper numbers in here. I'll just pick out 1 out, but I will leave the numbers for the decks. I will in the deck list there. But we're going to run a varied amount of swamps, forests. I think it's 4 forests, 7 swamps. Gaia Reach helps with discard as well, and it helps draw cards. Mirror Pool, I'm going to add in. I like the idea of putting a token about there's a copy of a target creature we control. You know, we've got no legendary creatures, so Vidacious, make another one would be nice, make another demon might be nice. You know, all the creatures we have to copy with Mirror Pool will be very nice. Ether Hub helps with mana and obviously gets us energy counters. Blooming Marsh, Hissing Quagmire. So we've got, going to run 3 Hissing Quagmire, so it does give us an opportunity for a little early creature, and it's a Death Touch creature. Hissing Quagmire was a 3, maybe should go to a 4, but I've got a 3 at the moment. So guys, that is your first deck that I made with the Demon of the Dark Schemes. Different brew to the average demons on there. So everyone builds around with Metalwork Colossus that I've seen. This is one way that you can do things a little bit different. Energy, discard cards. You have to excuse my voice is going today. With using big powerful creatures then to win the game. You can recur them with different cards, and hopefully we would be able to get a few wins with that. So let's have a quick look at the sideboard of this card. Of this deck, not the card. Nissa Vital Force, we're going to run a couple of them. Good to bring in another Planeswalker. Untaps target land, you make a 5/5. Return target permanent card from your graveyard hand, which is obviously good for recurring. And obviously the emblem, if we manage to get the emblem, would be nice as well. So we're going to run a couple of them. Couple of Lost Legacies to deal with awkward, maybe a Planeswalker deck or anything like that. We can get rid of a non-artifact, non-land card, search the library for all of them, and then they draw a card for each one. Going to run a couple of them. Ruinous Path helps with opposing Planeswalkers and creatures. 3 mana sorcery though. Murder, in case we need to bring in a bit more kill, can help us feed for the demon and obviously kill creatures. Going to run 3 of them. Pulse and Marassa, good against decks that are going to be speedy. Going to have a couple of these. 6 life is obviously could be brilliant. We're going to have 2, so we can potential 12 life. And we can return it, reoccur it as well with a Green Warden, get it back to our hand. It's just a very good card. If you can, if you can get these back and forward, it is very good. To the Slaughter, as I say, we might have a chance of a Delirium, so they could play a sacrifice creature and Planeswalker. It's a bit slim, but yeah. And we're going to run Pick the Brains as well. They reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card, so more way to disrupt hands. And it has a little bit of Delirium as well, which, could be there. And we might get it as well. So, guys, that is the first deck. It's the Golgari Demon. Golgari Demon discardy sort of spell. Hand Disruption. I hope you like this first deck. I think, I'm looking forward to I'm going to try and put it together. I'm missing probably a couple of cards. I've got one of Noxious Gearhulk. Maybe pick up another one, another maybe Vidurus Gearhulk, but I have the rest of the deck already. So, hopefully you might be able to see this deck in a versus match very soon. And hopefully you get to see both of them. So, guys, that was your first deck. What we'll do now is go on to the second deck, the Mardu Demon. Right, guys, so let's have a look at the Mardu version that I made of Demon of the Dark Schemes. So, this deck is coming at our opponents in all different angles. Demon of the Dark Schemes, we've got a lot of kill in this deck. Obviously, Mardu colours, red, very powerful at the moment in standard with kill spells. And it's just got a totally different angle. So let's show you these angles. So we're going to go on to our creatures. Start off with 3 Demon of Dark Schemes in this deck. Obviously, you know what it does. Ends the battlefield, all other creatures get -2/2. Energy counter when something dies. And the all-important ability, 2 and a black, 4 energy, put a creature from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under our control. So the other creatures, they're only one-offs. Cataclysmic Gearhulk works well with this deck because, we're not going to have a lot of creatures. Our creature is demon, that's what we built this one around. This will enter the battlefield. Each player will have to choose an artifact, creature, enchantment, or planeswalker and sacrifice the rest. So, played at the right time we can hopefully get a lot of creatures into the graveyard. Demon then can come down and do his stuff. Noxious Gearhulk. I had to put this one back in. I just do like the Noxious Gearhulk. Ends the battlefield, destroy a target creature, gain a bit of life, and has menace as well. And also good, it's just a good card. So, like I said, different angles. Dynavolt Tower is in this deck as a 4 of. We have, I think, possibly 19 instants and sorceries. So we're going to be getting a lot of energy count. This will help feed Noxious Gearhulk with the energy counters with 19 spells that can activate the Dynavolt Towers. We can also use, the energies on this to do damage to people or players or planeswalkers. So, we're going to generate a lot of energy around Dynavolt Tower. And hopefully it will feed the demon. This is what it's all about. So, let's get to the spells that I was talking about. Galvanic Bombardment, 4 of these. Will trigger with Dynavolt. Get our stuff up. Early kill spells. Put stuff in the graveyard ready for demon to come down and do his stuff. Harness lightning, energy counters, damage. You know, that's what we like. Unlicensed disintegration. I can never pronounce that one. Destroy target creature if you control an artifact, which we could well do. Hopefully, we got Gear Hulks, we got Dynavolt Towers. 3 damage to that creature's controller as well. Gonna run 3 of these, I think it is, and 4 of the other 2. Radiant Flames, a nice red early, you know, potential board wipe with a lot of little creatures that are going around to crew all these vehicles. Radiant Flames can sweep the board. That's a good way. We can tap it for 3 colours and do that. Fumigate gets us life, destroys all creatures, and we gain 1 life for each creature destroyed this way. We're going to run a couple of them. And the card draw that I'm liking at the moment, because obviously we need energy counters. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and get energy counters with Live Fast. We're going to have 3 of them. Could be maybe 4. I've been putting 3 in the decks, but I may be upping these to 4. You know, just to get a bit more card draw. Our next angle we're coming at with this deck. Nahiri the Harbinger. It can exile enchantments, tapped artifacts, and tap creatures, and we can build up, you know, potentially to get our demon out, or maybe we want to go and get a Gear Hulk and do that without, you know, Nahiri is a great planeswalker, my favourite planeswalker at the moment, has been, and standard and modern. We have Obniklus, destroy target creature, like I said before in the previous one, helps us draw cards as well. And Soaring Grim Nemesis. Reveal the top card of your library, deals damage. Now, you know, we've got a lot of high mana spells, but the Planeswalkers could do 4 damage, you know, stuff like that. If we pull a creature, we're looking at 6 damage with Demon, 5 with the Gear Hulk, 6 with the Noxious. We're going to be doing damage with Sorin, you know, potentially. So this is the other angle we're coming up as well. So they're going to have to be dealing with the Demon, thinking we're going to kill everything. Dynavolt getting energy counters, and Planeswalkers. You know I love Planeswalkers. Mardu is one of my favourite colours at the moment to build Planeswalker decks around. So this is our second, third plan, could be our first plan. But we got ways to help feed the Demon. That is what I like. Get energy counters a different way with Dynavolt and stuff like that. And we have a lot of kill spells. You know, if the Demon plan's not working, we might even be able to kill him with Dynavolt Towers. So we get on to the land base, very similar. Ether Hubs, Mirrorpool, like I said, I've been putting this all in most of my Gear Hulk decks. Plains, mountains, swamps. Then some of the creature lands, Shambling Vents and Needle Spires. Some Concealed Courtyards and Inspiring Vantages. But yeah, this is this deck. Now, I don't know, me personally, because I love Planeswalkers, I prefer this deck a little bit to the other one. The other one was my first deck, then this was my second idea. But I think both decks will work well. You know, they're different decks. They're helping Demon in a different way. Not going the Metalwork Colossus way. Nothing wrong with that way, but everyone was doing that. So, you know me, I like to be different. And hopefully these type of decks will work. These decks, hopefully, like I say, will appeal to people. I like them both. But before I sign off, let's have a look at the sideboard for this one. Authority of Councils. Like I say, we don't have many creatures. Originally was in the main board, but dropped it to add more spells to help Dynavolt. Put this in the sideboard because it's a good card to maybe sideboard in as well. They hopefully won't be expected. They might be, but it does slow down aggressive decks and gains us life. Going around 4 of them. A couple of Fragmentize. Helps against all the artifacts out there, crew and vehicles. Harsh Scrutiny, same from the first deck. Good at getting creature cards in the graveyard and looking at our opponent's hands, which is also very helpful. Blessed Alliances, coming against like maybe good to decks that run just the 1 torrential Gear Hulks. You know, those kind of decks where you can make them sacrifice their creature. Couple of Declaration Stones, great removal in white, cost 2 as well. And if we want to bring in an extra special creature, we have the Combustible Gear Hulk. When it enters, target opponent decides whether you draw 3 cards or take some damage from the mana cost from 3 cards. So you usually do get 3 cards. And the Gear Hulk is very sweet, and something else you can get with Nahiri. So guys, these were the decks. I really hope you enjoyed them. Thanks for everyone that took time and voted in Let's Build a Deck Viewer's Choice. If you haven't seen, I will mention this, if you haven't seen the video I put up yesterday, already gone down really well, it's Design Me a Planeswalker. So basically I want you guys to design me a Planeswalker, and what I'll try and do is build a deck around it. You know, nothing too overpowered, but go and watch the video. We'll explain it a lot more. And then you can go and make your Planeswalker, and hopefully I'll be able to put it together and play it. But anyway, guys, this has been Double Deck Tech Tuesday. Thanks again for watching. Let me know if you build the decks. Any ideas for the decks as well. Also, let me know in the comments. Always like good critique. Anyway, guys, thanks, and I'll see you next week. Cheers, guys.